So the unconditional love for myself, I just kind of want to wrap it up on this part.
So let's talk about what the unconditional is that we really mean in this scenario.
I wanted to say it in my words, though, to make sure
You're not even going to come close. You're not even going to come close.
All right.
Because you just led us out here on the leading edge to something that you want to consider that you never have before. So we'll go first and then we'll hear.
Yes, ma'am.
So unconditional, in the sense of what we're talking about here, means it would be proportionate to mentally throwing the ball, but not physically needing to pick one up. It would be about, and that's a sort of scanty basis. We'll give you more.
I got you.
We'll give you more.
No worries.
It's like unconditional means finding the feeling and that being everything. Conditional is, okay, I'll find the feeling, I'll work this out, and it will produce these results. But now you're twirled up in the results, and since the results haven't happened yet, you're introducing resistance into the equation, and now you're in a state of resistance, so it can't go where you want it to go. So unconditional is caring singularly about the emotion that you have the ability to produce without needing results. So let's just call the condition the physical result, the physical manifestation, the person showing up in a relationship, or the money showing up in your bank account, or the improvement in your bodily condition. Those are conditions over which you really don't have immediate control. You have eventual control, but not immediate control. So if you will exercise unconditional alignment, meaning alignment for the sake of alignment, not for the alignment for the ulterior motive of improving a condition, now you're unconditional in your alignment, and now the conditions all have to improve. Can you hear it?
Sure. And I feel like I understand that more and more, and viscerally I'm actually practicing it, where I really don't care about the manifestations, because I understand I already have momentum rolling in a lot of directions I want to be headed in.
Let's say that better. I care about every one of those manifestations. I just don't need to take score right now, because I'm wise enough to know they are evolving and will appear at the perfect place and the perfect point and the perfect time and the perfect...
Okay, so then here's my question then.
In other words, right now, I don't care about the absence of them, because I know the absence of them is not a permanent condition.
It's temporary.
Well, that's different than saying I don't care, isn't it? I don't care about the absence of them, because I know that the absence of what I want is a temporary condition. And in my absence of angst about it, I'm producing an atmosphere of allowing that is the path of least resistance, which is going to produce the conditions that I want. Isn't this interesting? I have to be unconditional in order to get the condition.
So my question is, what is those outside people's things relationship to me in my unconditional realm? My understanding is, wait, let me real quick.
They're coming as a response to a vibrational condition that you've got going on. Nobody ever shows up that's wrongly placed.
I get that.
So they are evidence of something that you want to let go further off. I mean, we're talking about universal laws here. The more it feels like you need to wrestle it to the ground or explain it or teach it or talk it, or the more that's the wrong direction. That's not the path of least resistance, and you know it. You know it. Don't you always get twirled up in stuff? Esther loves that song, I should have just gone to bed. Should have just gone to bed. Shouldn't have tried to talk it through. Shouldn't have tried to explain myself. Shouldn't have tried to figure it all out tonight. Shouldn't have tried to go to a place that I'm vibrationally not ready to go. I should have just gone to bed.
Okay. And the crutch of it is, every single time, no matter what, unconditional versus conditional, only and always has to do with your relationship with you. Unconditional love is about loving yourself so that you then could choose to love someone else if you wanted to, or do something else if you wanted to. But ultimately, unconditional love is only about your connection with you. It's not about a connection with anything else.
All right, so now that's 2014 conversation. Now we're in 2015.
Wow.
So let's have a new conversation about this from a new point of understanding. So let's talk about momentum. and let's talk about path of least resistance, and let's talk about conditions. So, would you say that there are some things that have already manifested that are pleasing conditions that offer no resistance to you whatsoever? In fact, they enhance your experience.
Absolutely.
So, do you want to be unconditional?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Do you want to be unconditional?
Well, yes, this is where I get confused because you're telling me about...
We're going to clear it up right now.
Thank you very much. I love you. Thank you.
So, if you're understanding momentum and you're understanding path of least resistance, and we began today by talking about the momentum that comes from non-physical. Oh, what a path of non-resistance. In other words, you ride in on this current of really powerful well-being. So, this path of least resistance and the momentum of this path of least resistance. So let's say you are acknowledging a condition. A condition. Abraham says I should be unconditional.
Yeah.
But wait, this is a condition that has no resistance within it.
Okay.
This is a condition that enhances. This is me rampaging in appreciation.
Okay.
This is me acknowledging the positive aspects of something.
Okay.
This is me benefiting because I'm aware of the path of least resistance. I'm not trying to change a condition to feel good.
Okay.
I'm acknowledging the momentum of conditions that do feel good. This is...
I get it.
But feel the distinction when you need a condition to change that isn't changing because you're acknowledging it right where it is. In other words, we want you to give your attention to every condition that pleases you, that promotes your alignment, and that dovetails with who you really are, and get your eyes off of those conditions that you think you need to change in order to feel better. Did you hear that distinction?
Yes.
That is the most significant distinction that we have ever expressed or that you have ever heard.
Nice.
Because it's not about, that's why we say there's no one right answer, there's no one right lifestyle, there's no one right. In other words, all of you are right. Every person that you've ever disagreed with about anything is right because their perception is what it is. They've built the rightness in through their perception. Okay. But you've got within you a guidance system that knows who you are and who you're being and is giving you feedback about that. So if it feels really good, acknowledge the condition. If it feels bad, give it up. Always take the path of least resistance.
Okay.
Path of least resistance.
Okay.
Which leads us to something really important to say. So, you're going to like this. So let's say, just follow us in this scenario. It's going to feel off the subject, but it's right on topic.
No problem.
So let's say that you are acknowledging the behavior of another person, and their behavior is not pleasing you, not one bit. And you know it when you saw it, you know it when you think about it, you know it when you keep thinking about it, you know it when you're telling somebody else about it. But the more you talk about it, the more momentum it gathers. Until there's almost something satisfying about talking about it. Because they agree with you. This person is really out of line. And there's something sort of nice about being validated by other ornery people about this bad behavior. So now we just want to say that there is a sort of path of least resistance because it's easy to keep complaining. And in fact, it's easier to keep complaining than to stop. You got that momentum going, and now this other person's involved with you, and you really got it going on. But we want you to feel that even though there's momentum going, and even though it feels like the path of least resistance, because now you're remembering all the terrible things they did. In fact, you're remembering other people that did other similar terrible things. Now the conversation's broadening to all kinds of stuff. Lots of momentum is going on, and it feels like the path of least resistance. But the way you feel, you're getting more uncomfortable, it's feeling more unpleasant, you're getting angry, you're getting all worked up about it, because you've diverged from the path of who you really are. But there's no possible way that you can get back on that path right now, because vibrationally you have blocked that path for yourself. You see what we're getting at? So that's why we say, how do you get rid of doubt? Before it starts. In other words, you want to wake up and join that path. You want to reach for the things that feel good. It's the momentum of your alignment that you're really reaching for. So we've said this to you and to all of you over the years. If you will not try to fix things in the middle of your awareness of the problem of them, it'll go better for you, because there's so much resistance already going on, and it will feel tricky to you because it feels like the path of least resistance is going with the flow of the negativity, and it never ever is.
Sure.
The ultimate path of least resistance never feels bad. But here's something that is noticeable of dear humankind. You would rather feel the momentum of negative emotion than no emotion at all, because you believe in the momentum that you're getting something done. We want you to reorient that flawed premise, because nothing good ever comes out of negative momentum. But then you feel like you're sort of in a trap because you can't get there from there. The momentum is there, and at least you're alive, and at least you got somebody to talk with, even though you're complaining. And so you just have to sort of make a decision that you care about the way you feel, and that feeling good matters to you most. And then do your best to withdraw from the need to control conditions you can't control until you teach yourself, like that intellectual thing you were talking about, you teach yourself what you can control, which is the way you feel, and then just get good at it. And you'll get better and better at it. You'll wake up and you'll feel better longer. And somebody who usually takes you down another momentum road, you'll find the universe pairing you up with them less and less. You'll find those conversations being less and less satisfying. You'll notice the momentum, the negative momentum, the moment it gets started, so you won't get swept up in it. You'll gain more control of the way you feel. And that's what you've been doing all along. So sorting out this conditional and this unconditional love thing, this unconditional thing that we're wanting you to understand, it's, in a nutshell, we can say it very succinctly. Focus on any condition that enhances your good feeling. And don't try to control any condition to try to fix something that's broken. That's the best way to sort out the condition and the unconditioned. Esther sat out on her porch in rapture at the beauty of things that she saw. And then she wanted to argue with us just like you do. Abraham, these are conditions that I'm focused upon. That's a condition, and that's a condition, and that's a condition, and that's a condition, and I feel wonderful. And we said, Esther, you felt wonderful before you focused on the conditions. The reason those conditions look so good to you is because you were in an unconditional state of alignment. You were in pure alignment with Source. You weren't trying to make anything happen. You were in a neutral place of non-resistance. And in that state of non-resistance, you hooked up with the whole of you, and your ability to appreciate went through the roof. And yes, you began focusing upon conditions from your place of alignment. So you've been hearing us say this for a long time. Get into the vortex and then. Get into alignment and then. So, path of least resistance, if something is uncomfortable, withdraw your eyes from it. If something is beautiful, give it your undivided attention. If something tastes good, eat more of it. If it tastes bad, eat less of it. Move toward what feels good. Move away from what does not feel good until you show yourself that you have that kind of discernment. And then watch what the universe yields to you. The subtle nuances and the details, the perfection, things that you even forgot that you told the universe you want will show up with such perfect timing that you will feel, once again, that blessed, fortunate, worthy of the attention of Source at all times being that you are. A coach that never criticizes and sees no flaw in you, only knows the perfection of you and the potential for your realization of it. Good.
We got one more quick thing.